All right, boys. Week 2, shitty week in terms of gambling. Good games though, but in terms of gambling line, shitty week. I'm gonna go over the standings to start. Let me find them real quick. Um, Overall leaderboard, Ryan, you're in first at 7-4 plus 2.6 units. I'm in second at 11-10 plus 1.58 units. Nagy is in third, 7-5 plus 1.34. Zach is in last, 5-8 minus 3.6 units. I'm at 1 week 1. Ryan, Zach, and Nagy are at 0. Me.
Dame.
What's up?
I blame Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, that really was what ultimately put you that far behind everyone. And then our do or dies, me, Zach, and Nagy are 1-0. Ryan is 0-1. If you lose three DODs in a row, our first punishment you have to go vegan for a week. Okay. Nagy went 7-5 on the weekend. And then there in the replies. Nagy went 7-5 on the weekend. I went 9-7. Ryan went 5-3. Ryan, you did have I guess never mind. Your 2 overs weren't that close. But North Carolina, I mean, they didn't play that well. And then Zach went 4-7. So that's the rundown of the past weekend.
I also got
weekend
by the 5.5 in UCF, and then I got backdoored in the Florida game.
Yeah, I had UCF too, though, so that would have helped me for sure.
I won't openly root. So
yeah, Ryan did a bullshit move. He hasn't been gambling. He hasn't been gambling for that long. Me and Zach have had bookies and everything since we were like 20, so we've been very big on the gambling conspiracies. And Ryan took Boise State. Me and Zach both had Central Florida on our cards, texted both of us and said, hey, I'm taking Boise if you guys want to ride with me. We're both like, what do you mean ride with you? We already posted this as a pick. And then he's cheering for him. And then it ended up I had mostly UCF money line, but I still had it on my card and a personal bet of -5.5. Zach had just 5.5, so Ryan kind of fucked us. He did win his bet, but no one gives a fuck about that. But he did say he will not do that anymore, and it kind of helped me in a sense. I spite took Vatek the next night, and it hit for me. Yeah, so but I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have, because then I didn't want to rub it in your face. Then I was like, tomorrow I'm gonna get fucked on something for being a dick. So, all right, moving on. Week 1 thoughts. First thought that we're going to talk about, Bama, still dominant, still looks like the number 1 team, still looks like the only complete team. You saw Georgia, who did look very good defensively, but offensively, you're like, I know Clemson has a good defense, but still, they couldn't do shit. They had a pick 6, only touchdown. So Bama still looks great. They just reload, replace. It's kind of insane. And their defense is insane.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's kind of boring, to be honest.
After watching week 1, I'm just like, I don't know if there's going to be another team that gets to that level.
I know it's I agree with you. It's one of those things where it's yeah, they're probably going to lose once though, right? There's teams that blah, blah, blah. But if they come out and play, they're winning the national title again. Yeah. It's not no one from week 1 showed me any of the slightest chance. If Georgia would have came out and Daniels would have looked good, through a touchdown maybe, yeah, I would be like, okay, because
he might be out now too.
Georgia has the defense that could compete with Alabama. Their defense is legit. But if you give Bryce Young, who I said before, people have been saying he could be the best Saban quarterback, look really fucking good. And he's athletic as shit. He's very good, athletic as shit. If you give Bryce Young that many opportunities, let's say Georgia gave Clemson, Bryce Young's going to score some fucking points.
Yeah.
In Oklahoma, they didn't look great.
They should have lost.
Yeah, Oklahoma's still Oklahoma.
Tulane recovered an onside kick.
Spencer Rattler didn't look great, but it's you still gave up 35 points to Tulane. That should be the biggest problem right there.
Yeah.
That's just how Oklahoma plays football. They just outscore everyone.
I know, but that's why I will not trust them to beat anyone. Yeah, so Bama's dominant. Moving on, next thing. Ryan has been flip-flopping for 3 months on the Georgia-Clemson game. His original thought that he thinks Georgia's going to win the SEC and the national title. I mean, you really just have to beat Bama. I'm saying you really just have to beat Bama. So, like, I would put Georgia at maybe the number 2 best odds to win the national championship. So you should have just stuck with your guns and fucking pick Georgia.
Yeah, I just overthought my life. Overthinking everything.
You overthought, and then you went with the over in a game that no offensive touchdowns was scored.
Well, I mean, I would have thought that two of the top 4 Heisman finalists would have scored a couple touchdowns, but I guess that.
I agree. Those defenses are good.
DJ looked awful.
Those defenses are good, but they're not that good.
No.
And Zach, you texted Clemson's offensive line. That was a point that people were saying that this year could be a big struggle. Yeah. They looked horrendous.
Because a lot of times Georgia was literally just bringing their 4 down linemen against 5, and they were just
yeah.
Like, and I would understand if they're doing like 5-on-5, 6-on-5, but it was 4-on-5 majority of the game, and they were winning 9-10 out of 10.
Yeah, that one DN for Georgia was literally whoever he was on just made him look like a child every play. Yeah. And I thought it was funny because, like, obviously Clemson was going to media days, and, like, they did that, like, little thing. Dabo's like, you see that field? That's where you're going to throw touchdowns, DJ. And, like, he didn't throw one. But the thing is what sucks and, is, like, Clemson's rest of the schedule is fucking trash. The ACC is trash. So, like –
yeah, I don't think that's their problem, though, because the way they played Saturday, they could lose to anyone.
No, I disagree.
Georgia's a complete – no one in the ACC can do what Georgia did.
I agree. Like, I agree they could slip up, but, like, if they do play how they played exactly on Saturday, first off that pick DJ threw, there's probably maybe 3 total safeties in college football who would have made that play. Like, that – like, when Kirk Herbstreit was breaking it down, the dude literally – it was almost impossible how he made that play. Kyle Hamilton, he made a few of those too, but, like, there's only a few safeties who can make that play. Then you throw in that, like, their defense played that well. If their defense plays that well, I know Georgia didn't look that great on offense, though, but if their defense plays that well, there's no team in the ACC that will score more than 10 points on them. But they're not going to play that way every game. I get that. But, like, the ACC is trash. Absolute garbage. Like, Georgia Tech lost to Northern Illinois. They were doing the thing on Monday night where they were like the ACC this week, and then they put Florida State's loss to Notre Dame. Florida State's loss to Notre Dame by 3 points to a top 10 team is actually probably the second most impressive thing the ACC did this weekend.
Yeah. North Carolina looked like awful.
But their defense actually looked good.
Yeah.
But I agree. Like, their defense is not, like, great, so they're not going to play like that every week.
North Carolina is a shell of itself on offense, what they were last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Tech's ranked like 19 now?
And that's but see, the problem is that's a game I still don't know how good either of those teams are.
Yeah, but like we always say, that's why preseason rankings are so fucking stupid, because Tech could play 4 teams who, like, are trash for the next 4 weeks until they play, like, a good ACC team. But if they continue to win, by the time the first college football playoff rankings, they could be ranked like 10th. And they're not the 10th best team in the country by even a slim margin. And it's like, but then someone beats them. Let's say Miami wins their games too, and Miami's like 17th, and they beat Tech. Everyone's like, oh, they just beat a top 10 team. Like, that's not true at all. That's why it's so fucking stupid how they do not have preseason rankings that actually, like, are legit.
Yeah. Indiana dropped out of the top 25.
They should.
Oh, they should.
Yeah, I agree. I just didn't realize it.
Any last words on the ACC, though?
Actually, Virginia Tech, they looking at their schedule, they play Middle Tennessee, and then I think they play that West Virginia game. I think that's a neutral site game. Then Richmond. Then they have their bye, and they play Notre Dame. So they before
they literally play nobody before.
But that's what for the Notre Dame game, they're going to be ranked like 10th.
Well, I want to put them past West Virginia. They might lose that one.
True.
West Virginia just lost to Maryland.
Yeah, I mean, but we'll see.
Okay, but if they beat West Virginia, it's not like West Virginia is good. It's like they're going to be top 10 for no reason. And then Notre Dame beats them. Let's say Notre Dame's 8. They're going to be like, Notre Dame just beat a top 10 team. But they didn't. Like, that's what I think is so stupid. Like, also, Florida State. Let's say Florida State did beat Notre Dame, and Notre Dame went on to be 8-4, and Florida State's 10-2. Everyone's gonna be like, they had one top 10 win this year. That's not a true top 10 win.
Yeah.
We need
they take it. They don't take the ranking when what it is like actual. They take it when they
right. And it's like these people on the committee, I'm sure, get paid dumb money, stupid money. Why are you getting paid this money? They show up to work 6 fucking weeks of the year. Like they can't be doing it all year. Oh, this is just it just makes me so mad because it's like the Indiana thing last year. Like, why were they ranked that high? They shouldn't have been close to rank that high.
Right.
They beat Penn State in a preseason ranking also, and like, and then Iowa jumps. Now, I do think Iowa's pretty good. They were good last year, only lost 2 games by combined 9 points, blah, blah, blah. But Indiana loses to Iowa, and like everyone, it's funny because Indiana drops out. Iowa jumps up like they're like the second best team in the country. And it's like
18-10 in the AP.
It's like, well, if Indiana's not ranked, why would they? I know teams lost, but it's like, should they really jump 8 spots then? If Indiana's not ranked? Like, I don't know. I'd like to talk to AP voters. They're all douchebags anyways because they're journalists, but like, I would love to talk to AP voters. Indiana fraud, that's the next – wait, what were you going to say?
It's just your classic week 1 overreactions. That's why I try not to think too much. Like to go back to the Alabama thing. Like they still look like the number 1 team in the country, but we have to remember they're playing a Miami team that like God, they're awful. Like they're program.
Miami will win 8 to 9 games this year though, and Alabama could have won by 70. That's what I don't think. Like 70. And then, but the thing is like, but then the other teams you look at, like Oklahoma played Tulane. Miami definitely beats Tulane by 3 scores. So like. What does Oklahoma give me? And then Ohio State, like Ohio State's the one team because I think they're so young that like as the season progresses could be the team to like actually play. But again, like last year, their defense is trash. So like,
yeah,
that's why I think
Cincinnati, you can say look good week 1. I mean, they played Miami, but they blew them out.
Yeah, no, dude,
Cincinnati is good.
Speaking of Notre Dame, like Cincinnati is by far going to be the best team Notre Dame plays this year, by far. And I agree, Cincinnati is good. And Cincinnati, like, they do need Indiana to not be a complete fraud. And then they need Notre Dame to win, which I think Notre Dame can because I think their schedule is horrendous now. Like USC, I think, is okay, top 25 team. And Cincinnati is good. Other than that, I don't think anyone really on their schedule is that good. But if Cincinnati could beat Notre Dame and Notre Dame goes 10-2, 11-1. Like Cincinnati deserves to be in the playoffs.
Right now, Notre Dame has on right now's rankings 5 straight ranked games.
Yeah.
Right. I know. That's what I'm saying though. It's like but like, do you believe other than Cincinnati and USC, like any of those teams are truly top 25 teams?
No.
Who else is it though? It's Vatek, Wisconsin.
You go Wisconsin, Cincy, Vatek, USC, North Carolina.
Yeah, like I don't think North Carolina truly is, and I don't think Wisconsin truly is.
I mean, after North Carolina, Notre Dame plays the 4 teams in November is Navy, Virginia, Georgia Tech, and Stanford. Those should all be blown out.
Yeah, if they can get out of October and late September unscathed, they should be able to.
Dude, Stanford is horrible. David Shaw is wait, what? I went like this, and the thing said, "You're about to raise your hand. I'll let the person know." Like, I'm talking. All right, but David Shaw, he makes like a $2 million bonus every year. There's an article about it. Like he does something where he gets a $2 million. He is so bad at coaching now, and Stanford is so bad. Navy is horrendous. I was kind of shocked because they were really bad last year, so I thought that they were going to be.
I thought they'd be much better this year.
Yeah, and they're bad.
They're the worst triple option team now.
Yeah, like he's really bad
for sure. So moving on though, Indiana fraud. I said right before we got off of last episode, we all agreed. We've all said it. I think we all took Iowa. And
I didn't have it on my card, but I bet it on.
Okay, so we all took Iowa, either gambling ourselves or on our card. And before we logged off, I said Indiana is such a fraud. Like, it's going to be hilarious to watch IU fans because their basketball sucked for so long. Now they're football fans. They're all fired up for it. Michael Penix this, Michael Penix that. They fucking suck. IU sucks. Tom Allen is a fraud, and I am so happy. So happy. Fuck you guys. I fucking hate IU football fans. You guys are morons. You don't know what football is. You haven't actually watched football. Half of you were Notre Dame fans for the first 15 years of your fucking life. Now you're an IU fan just because they're good for a little bit. Fuck you. That's my rant. I hate IU fans. You guys have anything else to say about that fraud head coach Tom Allen?
No.
Leave it at that. Summed it up well. All right, good. All right, we'll move on. 2 games this week, and I think that stick out. Iowa State. Iowa obviously beat IU. Iowa State had a close game. Now, that's like one of those, like you said, Ryan, could be an overreaction because they are good, returning a lot of people. They easily could turn around and beat Iowa by 10 points. So, what are your thoughts on this? Game day's going. It's at Iowa State, which I think is a huge – I think home field now is huge. Sold-out crowds, so –
Yeah, I read – I didn't watch the Iowa State game, but I did read that their offense was extremely vanilla. Like they want to put anything on film for Iowa. That's essentially what I took out of it. Then Iowa, I know they just looking at the score for the IU game, they looked good, 34-6. But looking at the stat line, I mean, their quarterback was 13-27 for 145 yards. That's not going to win you a lot of games.
You said Iowa?
Yes.
Yeah, and their offense didn't look great. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
So I really think Iowa State can really challenge Oklahoma for the Big 12 this year. And so, yeah, I like Iowa State in this game.
Zach?
So Iowa has actually won 5 straight games in this rivalry. They obviously didn't play last year because of COVID, but Iowa State has not beat them since 2014. I think that factors in a lot when it comes to these rivalries. They always, other than 2016 when Iowa beat them 42-3, 2019 Iowa won 18-17. 2018, Iowa won 13-3. 2017, Iowa won 44-41. 2015, Iowa won 31-17. So, I mean, they all play, especially the last, 3 times they played, all close games. I think Iowa is going to use how they just beat the hell out of Indiana as also motivation going into this rivalry game. They're getting 3.5 points going to Iowa State. I like Iowa to win this game. Probably. I mean, we're probably going to get split on this, but I don't know.
Are you taking money line?
I'm not taking money.
Not so fast, my friend. Not so fast, my friend. Iowa State wins and covers. I think Iowa, like Ryan stated, their offense didn't look great, and I don't think Brock Purdy is going to throw scumbag picks like Michael Penix did. So that right there I think is huge. I think Iowa State's going to be rocking.
And they're coming out with the Blacks.
Yes, all Blacks. I think Matt Campbell's a great coach. I hope he stays at Iowa State because it'd be cool to see a school like Iowa State legit be good and stay good. And I think this is a huge turning point for Iowa State. I actually think this could sway if he stays or goes. Like I think a game like this where the sold-out crowd, get recruits there, you win, you beat your rival. It's a huge game for Matt Campbell. It's a huge game for Iowa State, and I think Iowa State rolls. So Zach has Iowa. Ryan, this isn't on our cards. This is what we feel about the game. We're just discussing the 2 big games. Next, Oregon at Ohio State. I will be in the big house. It's not the big house. I apologize. Ohio State fans, don't kill me. The shoe. I was watching Mr. Brightside music video a lot. Not music video, the video of all them singing it. But Oregon, Ohio State, I will be there. Would be odd if I thought it was in the big house and I was going to Ann Arbor. Ohio State is minus 14.5 now, which kind of sucks. But who do you guys like in this game?
You want to go first, or you want me to?
Go ahead. I went first last time.
I like Ohio State in this game. I know they struggled in that first game. I mean, they covered for some people, they pushed for others. If you had them at 14.5 the last game against Minnesota, I'm sorry you lost that. It's 14.5 again going into Oregon. Oregon didn't impress me with their against Fresno State. I thought they would beat them much more handily. I also think what's going to hurt Oregon tremendously is if Ryan pronounced the guy's name.
Oh, Kayvon Thibodeau.
that guy, if he does not play in this game,
Come on, Zach. It rolls off the fucking tongue.
That's a
Did
good-
you not just hear that?
And his last name is like spelled like EAUX.
Yeah.
LSU.
It's so confusing.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a player, but I think if he does not play for this game for Ohio State or for Oregon against Ohio State, that's going to hurt tremendously on defense. And I also think Ohio State, this being their first game at home, I mean, the crowd's going to definitely play effective. First full game in 2 years. Also, Oregon's playing at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's 9 o'clock back on their time of the country. That's completely different when these guys got to play those games, I think. I mean, I factor that in. I think Ohio State wins this game. When it comes to the spread, I have no clue where that goes, but I think Ohio State does win the game.
Brian.
Yeah, I hate the line. I might add it. Like this might be like a Saturday ad, depending on where the line goes. But yes, Kayvon Thibodeau potentially missing the game would be very similar to like Chase Young for Ohio State not playing.
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
He's
I mean, I'm not saying he's Chase Young, but he's that good
he's
too,
like
especially for Oregon.
Zach said before we aired or before we press recorded, he's definitely a potential number one pick in the 2021 draft or 2022 draft. But I'm not a huge fan of Ohio State's defense, so I could definitely see that keeping Oregon in the game. But if anything, I would bet on the over/under more than the line. But I do like Ohio State in this game.
Yeah, I'm kind of
receivers. I mean, it's just
that
simple.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also think that 9 a.m. kick is huge. Like if they're playing at 3:30, like that's only it's like not that much. But like you're talking about rolling off a bus and playing a game on a time that you actually think normally is 9 a.m. Like that's.
Do you know what day Oregon's getting to town?
Life. If they were smart, it'd be tomorrow.
I was gonna say,
or even today.
Text Kirk.
Just be like, hey, what time did you go? What day did you guys get to town? So
I'm thinking about gambling on the game. What time did you guys get to town?
I need to get an idea if your players got some sleep or not.
Like guys, like they don't go to school anyway, so let's not be like, oh, they can't miss this many days of classes. So, yeah, they would be smart to get there today. Honestly, like you have that full blown. But I'm with you guys. I like Ohio State. The line, I don't know, Ryan. Like you said, I don't really like Ohio State's defense. So I mean, it could be a 21-point game, and Oregon scores a touchdown with 3 minutes left, and you lose the bet. I will definitely bet it because I will be at the game. Do you guys know if betting is legal in Ohio State or in Ohio?
I think
it's not. It's not.
Okay, so then I will have to place all my bets before I fly out.
I travel there. I don't think I can ever place it.
I think you're right, actually. So we all agree we like Ohio State. Whether that's a good thing or bad, I don't know. But I'm with both you guys. The line, I don't really like that much. It kind of scares me, but I will bet it. Should be a good game. Should be a good atmosphere, Zach. Like you said, it's their first time. Let's remember, Big Ten teams didn't have any fans. So, like, you're talking about the Shoe, which is one of the biggest stadiums in the country, being completely sold out. 108,000 people there. It'll be rocking. It'll be exciting. All right, now let's move to our picks. Who wants to start?
Go ahead, Zach.
All right, one sec. I'm seeing if it's legal in Ohio. I don't think it is, though.
I'm looking up Kayvon Thibodeau. See if
it's not legal in Ohio, Michael.
Yeah, I didn't think it was.
It's only DraftKings is legal in Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan.
All right, who cares? Your card. You're supporting DraftKings. Fuck that, dude. Come on. So FanDuel.
What's the same thing for FanDuel?
FanDuel sponsors us. All right, go.
First play of the card for week 2. I'm taking Coastal Carolina minus 25.5 versus Kansas. I think it's on Friday night.
Yes,
it is. What are you taking it? What is it?
Coastal Carolina minus 25.5.
Okay, I was just it's dropped like 2 points. I was just making sure you got the 2 points for you. Okay.
Oregon at Ohio State over 63.5. Rutgers minus 1.5 at Syracuse. Toledo plus 17.5 at ND. Buffalo plus 13.5 at Nebraska. Texas minus 7.5 at Arkansas. I hate how it's 0.5. I'll probably buy the half point and get like minus 120 odds, but I'm taking Iowa plus 3.5 at Iowa State. I'm taking Liberty minus 4.5 at Troy.
Ooh, I like
I was
that.
thinking about that one too, Zach.
I like that.
This one, I think they're going to blow them out, even though I hate the line. USC minus 17.5 for Stanford. Like that one, I'll probably buy the line to 17. Do you want me to wait to give my do or die or give it now?
Yeah, wait. Ryan?
Right. Sorry, I didn't write them down, so I have to scroll.
Yep. You want me to go? Or do you have them?
I can write them down real quick if you want to go.
Yep. Okay, I'll go. All right. So, fuck. I don't know what I'm gonna. All right. You know what? Fuck it.
I'm adding
doing
one
that.
more to my card.
Okay.
Buffalo money line plus 410.
Okay. They play at Nebraska for everyone wondering.
Yep.
My card is Army minus 6.5. They play at home against Western Kentucky. Army looked very good week 1 as an underdog at Georgia State. Never understood that line. Then I have Tennessee plus 3.5. They play Pittsburgh at home. I think Tennessee, I don't think Pittsburgh's that good, and I think Tennessee will win at home. I have South Carolina on the road against East Carolina minus 2.5. I have Purdue minus 34.5 at UConn. I think UConn's just the worst college football team maybe to ever exist. Their coach just stepped down like yesterday. They've had a bunch of turmoil. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if some kids quit, some kids transfer. Like, I think
The
Purdue
line
might
changed
win.
like 4 or 5 points when he did that too.
Purdue might win by 50. Like, they're definitely not practicing well this week. So, like, there. Air Force minus 5.5. We talked about it. Navy's fucking terrible this year, and you can get that under a touchdown. So I like Air Force. I'm going against Zach in this one. I got Iowa State minus 3.5. I'm going to be pissed if they win by a field goal, but I think Iowa State definitely wins that game. Then the Michigan line, me and Ryan were talking about, it just jumped to 6.5. I love Michigan in that spot. I think Washington sucks. I actually think Michigan might be decent this year. Not 11-1, 10-2, compete with Ohio State, but I do think they're going to be pretty good this year, maybe 8-4, 9-3. And then I got Arizona. They play San Diego. Arizona, I know everyone said might be the worst team in college football, but they played a BYU team. I know BYU is not as good as they were last year, but they competed with them. Or San Diego State, my fault. San Diego State, I think, is horrendous. So I like Arizona minus 2.5. And then I might add a few more. But right now, those are my picks. And then my DOD, Ryan.
All right, hold on. I'm almost done writing them down. Screw it. Okay, hold on. All right. Ohio State, Oregon, over 63.5. I just think Ohio State's defense stinks. Their offense is good. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a 42-24 kind of win. Rutgers, minus 1.5 versus Syracuse. I don't know a whole lot about Syracuse, but I know Rutgers. Who's their head coach again? The guy from Ohio State in the NFL.
Shiano.
He formed coach Rutgers too.
What's that?
He used to coach Rutgers like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I just think he has them going in the right direction.
Fuck it, boys. Add it to my card.
Oh, we got
Rutgers.
Yeah.
It's already going on Aggies then too.
Yep.
Notre Dame, Toledo, over 55.5. Air Force, I added this one with you, Mike. Air Force minus 5.5 versus Navy. Iowa State minus 3.5 versus Iowa. We already talked about that one earlier.
We got a rivalry.
Miami, yeah, we do.
Miami minus 8.5 versus App State.
I like that. I looked at that too.
I'm going also with Liberty minus 4.5 versus Troy. And then I think Michigan rolls in this game.
I agree.
Washington might stink.
Yeah, I agree.
Losing to Montana, an FCS team at home. I mean, I don't care if you're looking ahead. That's like bad.
Yeah, but they're also supposed to be like a top 25 team. Like you can squeak out a last second field goal win or something, but you can't lose the game.
Yeah,
I'm adding Air Force to my card.
Okay.
Is it at Navy?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm putting down the line.
And then
right, yeah, right. Are you done?
BYU money line against Utah.
BYU money line against Utah. Okay.
Yep. And then North Carolina State minus 2.5 at Mississippi State.
Okay. Yeah, that's a line I don't understand. It's like, do I want to take Mississippi State or do I want to take it? Yeah,
might be good.
Like, yeah, they could be pretty good.
Decent.
They could be pretty good. But if Florida goes and wins by like 60 to South Florida, it's definitely just South Florida's that bad, which they probably still are,
They
but
probably are.
yeah.
That's
All
another
right.
because it changed
What?
to 20. That's another game I had on my card when it was 27.5, and then it changed to 28.
Yeah. So who's up?
That's
DOD, who's first?
Ryan, you give yours first.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah, you
I'm
lost.
first.
Zach had the worst record, so he went first. Then you are the only one who lost. So
That's all right. If I lose, I'll just take Alabama money line next week.
Watch
Shut the
Michael.
fuck up.
Watch Ryan do or die on Alabama money line, then lose.
I think he would just have to like.
Dude, I would actually be okay with that.
You'd be screwed for the rest of the year because the units on it, the juice.
That's true.
The juice would murder you.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It'd be a good thing if it was Mercer, the juice would be like minus 44,000. Like, at least if it's like someone, it'd still be a lot, but like it'd be like minus 1,000. But all right, what's yours?
Notre Dame Toledo over 55.5.
Okay, Zach.
Michigan minus 6.5 versus Washington.
I like that. I'm adding Notre Dame minus 17.5 solely because Zach took Toledo, and I know he's chasing Notre Dame because he lost every bet on Notre Dame Monday night or Sunday night. So I think he's chasing them. So I think the Irish are the play this weekend. So I'm adding that to my card. Notre Dame minus 17.5. They probably don't cover, but whatever. But my do or die is kind of it's a juicer, dude. It's a juicer. It's Tennessee money line at home against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Plus 134. I think Tennessee wins this game. And I actually, Ryan, I'm not gonna put it on my card quite yet, but I probably will add it. But I like Mississippi State money line. I really do. I think the boys coming back from 34-14 is going to be a big booster. But all right, those are DODs. We'll get Nagy's tweeted. We'll all tweet.
I'm sorry, I'm adding one more.
Yeah, you're good.
Illinois, Virginia under 55.5.
See, I hate when like you guys say these Illinois schools because I'm like, dude, where'd you get that? Because in Illinois you can't fucking bet on the colleges in Illinois. But
the pace of play in that game is going to be like a turtle. So
okay.
I just don't think Illinois is very good.
Yeah, they're not, definitely. But okay. All right, so we'll tweet all these picks after. And then NFL show will be tomorrow, and we'll tweet all of the NFL picks after this show. We'll see everyone next week. Hopefully Ryan wins his do or die. It's kind of a big moment for him. So we'll see everyone next week, though.
See ya.
See ya.